everyone? It's Henry here. Ignore the stupid face. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the recently announced SAW 11 cancellation. It's possible that it's just been delayed, but I want to put this at the very beginning of the video just in case. No matter what, whether or not SAW 11 releases this year, I'm not gonna stop releasing a song review once a month. I don't care that they say that they're done. I'm not done, so the show must continue. Anyway, thank you for your time. Let's get on with it.
But my marriage has survived more suffering than someone like you could ever grasp.
Suffering? You haven't seen anything yet.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Henry from Ahead of the Curve 94. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Shit Show. On today's show, we're going to talk about the 2006 film Saw 3, which you're already aware of because you probably saw the thumbnail. Alright, folks. Are we ready? And go!
Welcome to the Shit Show.
Alright, people, so today's been a weird fucking day, okay? My car completely crapped out on me. The Wi-Fi specifically is completely out in this area for some goddamn reason. I have a technician coming tomorrow after I get off work, so that should be fixed. The real problem with my car, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little stressed out today, but I had to do this damn review, okay? Actually, no, I didn't have to. I wanted to. Doing this shit really helps alleviate some stress. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love doing this shit. So if this is your first time tuning in, I'm already in the middle of this Saw series. So we're on 3 right now. We're going through them all by the time 11 comes out. So just be aware. Because my internet is out, I cannot use my handy dandy iPad to go on Wikipedia and read the plot synopsis. So we're going to go a little old school today and just read it from the back of the box. Saw 3, Unrated Edition. Jigsaw has disappeared. What? Along with his new apprentice, Amanda, the puppet master behind the cruel, intricate games that have terrified a community and baffled police, has once again eluded capture and vanished. While city detectives scramble to locate him, Dr. Lynn Denlin and Jeff Reinhardt are unaware that they are about to become the latest pawns on his vicious chessboard. Alright, so if you're not aware, Saw 3 is a really important film in this series, okay? We're going to get into it, of course, but let me just say this ahead of time. I am not excited to watch 4 or 5 in particular. Also 7? Oh man, there's a lot of stinkers coming up. But hey, we're here to do them all. So Saw 3, consider this, I don't know, sort of like a conclusion to the OG trilogy. And then after this, it kind of takes off in a different direction. Oh yeah, so long story short with the plot synopsis, Jigsaw is on his way out, people. He is about to check out, lights out, whatever you want to say here. He's at the end of his rope. But before he can check out, he wants to finish this final game. Now, in case you haven't seen Saw 1 or 2, this one kind of gives you just enough to keep you intrigued at the beginning. Saw 2 ends with Marky Mark's brother, Eric Matthews. This character is yelling obscenities at Amanda, who we've just discovered was Jigsaw's apprentice in that film. So what do they do here? It opens once again with Eric Matthews screaming obscenities at Amanda. By the way, when I reviewed the second one, there's a clip where I mentioned, bro, use your gun or whatever. It's right there. So this one quickly answered any questions, so I hope I kept that in the footage, because that was a very teachable moment. So since his gun is empty, he naturally tries to cut the chains, classic. Instead, he opts for the lid that Adam bashed Zeb's Adam bashed Zeb's brain with this thing in the first film, okay? So Eric Matthews picks this damn thing up and just bashes his foot into pieces. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about it in my head, people. And yep, all right. Doesn't take too long to get gross at all. Now, if you recall, in the second film, we met Rig and Carrie. So we cut back to these two characters who are at the crime scene of the latest Jigsaw game. People, this one is fucking rigged. Okay. Not what I meant, but yeah, needless to say, this shit is fucked, okay? How the fuck was he gonna get out of this shit, okay? Needless to say, this shit is entirely fucked up, okay? It's brutal, okay? Without the fucking mouthpiece, this would have been enough. 90 seconds to remove all that? But how are we gonna survive pulling this out without a fucking jaw? Oh man, fuck you, John. So yeah, motherfucker dies, and that's just the way it goes. We focus on Hoffman at the crime scene. Now this is a new character played by, I believe it's Costas Mandylor. Forgive me if I'm wrong. If you saw some of the later sequels, he's in a bunch of them. Anyway, Carrie is taking it hard, people. She is clearly taking her work home. I mean, it seems like she's one of the last few who's like actively on the Jigsaw case, so this makes her a target. So one night after a long day at work and a few glasses of wine, they catch her ass slipping, okay? And honestly, I don't feel too bad for her at this point, okay? So the way they get her, we have a camera that's in her bedroom peeking out the closet. So she realizes that she's on camera, and instead of focusing anywhere else and falling for the most obvious fucking distraction, they get her ass. Okay, she deserved the kidnapping part. What follows after that? Absolutely not, people. She is strapped up and held up by chains. There's metal pieces digging into her ribs. So if she fails her test, which involves reaching her hand in a vat of acid, fucking brutal. If she passes that, she has to use that key to unlock the fucking harness around her. If she can do that, she'll live. And before we find out her fate, our good friend, shitty, crazy cokehead, and frantic editing is back. Now, okay, in Saw 1, I understood. You know, you had no money, so you try to hide things. I get it, I get it. At this point, I'm fully expecting it, but it's a goddamn trope. At least this one, in my opinion, is more tolerable than more of the later sequels, but man. Carrie, unfortunately, she fails her test only because the goddamn game was rigged. And before she goes out, she catches a glimpse of someone. Who could it be? We find out a lot of these games, people, are just completely set up to kill the person. John loves to get on his high horse about how he despises murderers, so something's up here already. Oh well, let's cut to a new character named Lynn. Now this character, if you saw my Crash review, now put the thumbnail up right now, editor. Do as I say.
Nope.
Can you put it up, please? Thank you. Okay, yes, if you saw my Crash review, I mentioned this actor. I think I admitted in that video that I had a crush on her around this era. We meet Lynn and her man friend, who, by the way, is in a couple George A. Romero movies. These two are clearly not hitting it off. I mean, you know, she's taking pills, heading off all sad and mad. You know, homie's in the bed just looking down. You know, he just got some ass, but you know, his life is hard right now. He tells her that he wants a divorce, and she heads the fuck out. Already, I'm thinking this is a little similar to like the first movie with Carrie Elwes' character. So I don't know if it's a callback or nothing, but you know, hey, I'm intrigued. Lynn goes to work at the ER, and we find out that she's a fucking awesome doctor. I mean, I gotta be real. Obviously, her personal life is affecting her, but when she's able to laser in and focus on the work, I mean, she saves this poor boy's life. I mean, just like that. After her heroics, she goes to the break room or locker room or whatever, and she gets napped. Why though? What the hell does she do? Stay tuned. Also, I have a question though. Who the fuck is this? And guess who it is? Amanda. Yeah, people. Okay, let me just say this right now. Amanda's a goddamn highlight in this film. In the second one, she was okay, but this one, oh man, she lets that just inner psycho just completely out. I'm just here for it. Also, there's a few shots I'm like, dang girl, alright, kind of gorgeous. Amanda takes Lynn to meet Jigsaw. Alright, people, in his intro scene in this film, dude is struggling, okay? I mean, this is the worst we see him. Even compared to like Saw X. Man, people, I ain't gonna lie to you. He looks fucked up, okay? And it's highly effective. I'm shocked he's still alive after fucking Eric Matthews beat the shit out of him in that last film. We also find out that Lynn worked with Dr. Gordon, Carrie Elwes' character, which I mentioned earlier. They are, doing similar plot lines here, so I guess it is a wink and a nod, so to speak. Lynn is only here because, hey, raise your hand if you heard this before. This person was not appreciating their gifts, so we're going to put them in a high stakes situation where their life is on the line. Sound goddamn familiar? Yes, it does. So, they put a shotgun shell collar around her neck. I'm not bullshitting, okay? There are several live rounds around her neck. You want stakes, people? Alright, this is it. If he dies, you die. Okay, so that is our A plot. Let's cut back to our B plot here. We meet Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
This man wakes up in a goddamn crate. He's in his dingy, dirty house coat. Looks like he hadn't slept for days or he's coked out. I don't know. Within his intro, we find out that Jeff lost a son due to someone drunk driving. If I'm not mistaken, people, I believe there's a judge, which we'll get into. There's a judge who gave him a light sentence for murdering a child. If I'm not mistaken, it was only like 6 months, okay? If only there was a witness to this crime, maybe the person would have done more time. Maybe. We'll never know. Or will we? I will say, Jeff's trial is a tense and deep one, okay? We find out that this man has a daughter at home who's been completely neglected, okay? Due to his own revenge fantasies. This man is so lost on revenge that he's not paying attention to the little girl he has at home. I mean, you hate to see it because every time we flash this little girl, like, I'm feeling it, people. I feel for her. I'd be remiss though. Let me give a quick pro to SAW3. I love the fact that we keep expanding the games here. I mean, Saw 1 was in a bathroom, Saw 2 was in a house, Saw 3 is in a goddamn warehouse. I mean, it is only getting bigger, which will raise some questions in some later sequels. But hey, we're not there yet. As I said earlier, Lynn is a great fucking doctor. She deduces that John needs a surgery, that they need to take him to a hospital immediately. Amanda loses her shit and she just goes off in his temper tantrum. Luckily, John's there to sort of tame her and keep her reeled in. Unfortunately for him, while he's doing that, he goes into shock and then later convulsions. Homie just has a seizure and it's not looking good. And a nice change of pace, let me just say this. Amanda is terrified, okay? Yeah, you may think she's heartless, but she clearly, deeply cares for John. I mean, in its own fucked up way, but yeah, she's very protective and I will say overly protective, which we'll find out later on. Every time she walks in and out the room, she sees John and Lynn in some, peculiar position where maybe it looks like he's fallen in love or maybe she's in love with him. In her mind, like, this cannot happen. I'm just going to tell you this right now. She explodes way more later. This is nothing. So instead of taking his ass to the hospital, Amanda says, fuck it, we're gonna do it right here in this shitty warehouse. What can I steal from the hospital? She says. Clearly, Amanda is not fucking around. But you know what? Let's cut to Jeff, who encounters his first trial. For the sake of nudity and censorship, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show you hardly anything from this, so just be prepared. I'm not kidding, people. This shit is loaded with titties. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna play it on the safe side here and just take my word for it. There's a woman naked. She's standing up and she's chained by her hands. And this place, I'm sorry, this room is fucking Arctic cold. Okay, it's so cold that it's blue. So she's trapped like this, naked as fuck, just titties all out. As if this wasn't enough, Jigsaw rigs a trap to start spraying her with water at very quick intervals, okay? It might take like 10 seconds in, 10 seconds off. Me just holding my hand like this is really just, it's put me in this place that I don't want to be. We find out that this woman was the sole witness to the crime that took Jeff's son away from him, okay? I get homie's pissed. But luckily for him, I'm sorry, well, I guess a pro for the character is that throughout this, he actually does go through a metamorphosis. It's sometimes and often too late, but he does actually change. I'm gonna give that props. So yeah, homegirls being punished for that reason alone, is it fucked up? Yes. But warranted? No. This is way too far. I guess I can say that Jeff doesn't pass, nor does he fail, if I'm being honest with you. This isn't that sort of punishment. He is playing judge and jury while Jigsaw, John, and his apprentices are playing executioner. And this lady goes out in a horrible way. I mean, I just cannot imagine. Fuck the Titanic. Oh shit, you can't say that. That's a real fucking thing. Take that out, editor.
Nope.
And while we're at it, let me just take a second here. So, this film introduces a lot of flashbacks. Okay, we get Amanda's evil origin, backstory, and all that. You know, how she came to be where she is today, working under John. My issue is going forward in these movies, the plot is just gonna take forever to actually get to its point because each movie adds another flashback and they try to answer a question from a previous film. And oh man, it's just hard. I'm not gonna say it's hard to understand what they're trying to say. It's just hard to keep up with this shit. I mean, why are we doing this way? Once again, people, that's not a complaint against SAW3. And this one is very tolerable. The sequels, that's what we're on about. So let's meet Jeff's second trial. Okay. This is probably the trap that scares me the most so far during this rewatch. People, can you imagine being in this judge's position? By the way, this is the judge who gave the drunk driver a light sentence. So once again, we're tying it back to Jeff. Can you forgive? Can you forget? Let's find out. We meet this poor guy who is strapped down by his neck. Just his neck, everything else, you can kind of just move your hands and your arms and all that. You're just stuck right here, one of the most crucial parts of your body. No big deal. As if that's not bad enough, he is in a giant vat. Honestly, it's a goddamn grinder. Before you know it, we're looking at tons of rotted pig corpses. Oh my god. Okay, just talking about it's kind of getting me sick. Okay, so those rotting bodies are dropped into the grinder, turns it into a sludge, and this man is slowly being drowned in. Oh my god, just fucking kill me, John. You may think I'm being squeamish here, and yeah, I might be a little bit here. Can you maintain your composure when you're just being drowned by rotting corpses that's turning into jelly and mush and you're just slowly inhaling that and choking on it? Oh man, this is fucked up. No one deserves this shit. Alas, people, after all this fucked up shit, Jeff decides to forgive. So he frees the guy, and now, hey, look at this. Jeff has now a +1, okay? He's added a member to his party. Also, I skipped a very important plot point involving how Jeff got the key to unlock the judge. I'm gonna save that one for you because if I'm being honest, I thought it was a great fucking character moment. So, yeah, hope you enjoy. If not, I'm sorry.
And vengeance doesn't solve anything. It only makes the pain greater, Jeff.
That's enough gross shit for a minute. Just a goddamn minute. Literally. Let's check in on John, Amanda, and Dr. Lynn.
Do you have everything you need?
I have the instruments to cut someone open. I don't have the tools to save a life.
You'd be surprised what tools can save a life.
Dr. Lynn is prepped to do surgery, which John has to be awake for. Alright, people, so in SAW1, in that review at least, I mentioned how I had these memories of all the gore and gross shit. And then it turns out that once you rewatch it, they cover quite a bit because they had no money to do the shit. SAW2 upped this game. SAW3, next level shit right here. This is burned into my brain, okay? I cringed in the best way possible. And even though the shit is intense, we get a visit from our old friend, Cokehead Editing, okay? You guessed it. During the surgery, John is, he's drifting away. He's kind of, falling back into his memories. And he's also kind of trying to be alert for what's going on. We get flashes of this blonde lady. I have no idea who she is. I mean, yeah, I've seen all the Saw films, so yeah, okay. I guess I know who this is, but as of right now, let's pretend I haven't seen it. So, who's the blonde lady? We don't fucking know. Wink. I can't believe I'm saying this, people, but the surgery, despite all these complications, is a goddamn success. Yay, Lynn! Alright, we can let her ass go. Oh yeah, people, I forgot. We get a little bit more of Amanda's backstory. We find out that she's the one who went back into the bathroom from Saw 1, and she gave Adam the old plastic bag treatment. Which, I dare say, is better to have that than the goddamn starve, but yeesh, people. Up next, we have Jeff's next trial, okay? The rack. Now, this is, I believe, the selling point of the film. I think this is the one people remember the most. Once again, the one that stuck out to me was the previous trial where the judge was, being suffocated by pig guts. That was worse to me, but the rack is not to be fucked with. And, a nice little nod we see in Saw X. We see him doing the early designs for this trap, so, nice little finishing touch in that film. Immediately, though, let me just say, no matter who you are or what you've done, I can tell you, no one deserves this shit. Jeff, come on, get him out of there. Come on, dude. Yes, this is the guy who killed his son, but how could you subject anyone to this? I mean, I couldn't do this to my worst enemy. To be honest with you, people, I come from a family where, I could name 5 relatives in the last, 17 years, excuse me. At least 5 members of my family get murdered. Yeah, gun violence is a motherfucker, okay? Long story short, this trap, it takes your hands and your legs and then slowly twist until they break and just all the bones just splinter into nothing. It starts with the hands and the arms, and then the finale is the neck. And oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like the first trial involving the woman in the freezer, Jeff ends up forgiving this person, but it's way too late. I'm not gonna say A for effort here because I can't imagine what this is like, but dude, man, you gotta stick to one, okay? You can't be doing this shit last second. Oh yeah, people, not only does that man die, the judge, who was, the +1 added to the party, this dumbass gets caught up right in the middle of the one place in the room you don't want to be. You think I'm kidding? It's the only place where there's a shotgun aimed at it. I mean, what are we doing, dude? So yeah, -1 to the party. uh, I'm gonna be honest with you people. Although the rack is fucked up and you hate to see anyone go like this, I laughed my ass off at that, fake ass Muppet head they got for that brother. Oh my god. You see that goddamn shag rug they put for this motherfucker's hair? Cut. Whew. All right, people. With that being said, let's cut back and check in on Lynn, who last I mentioned her, she was getting ready to be released by John and Amanda. I hope that's going well, but nope. Instead, Amanda holds Lynn at gunpoint, goes on this rant about how she doesn't matter, and now, she's just clearly just lashing out at John, and it is just like, we were this close to the finish line, Amanda. Why are you dropping the ball here? This is where John has a chance to, just let loose on Amanda. He tells her that he knows she's been killing her victims in the games. We cut back to Eric Matthews. Yes, did you forget about old Donnie Wahlberg? How could you? Shame on you. We find out that those two got into a tussle. I mean, he kind of beat the shit out of her, to be honest with you, even with his 1 foot and all. Amanda says fuck it and just shoots Lynn just as Jeff arrives to meet the person responsible for today's events, John Kramer. We find out that Lynn and Jeff are actually husband and wife. What? Oh my goodness. Okay. I remember this plot twist from back in the day. This blew my goddamn mind. I just didn't think about it. It's kind of obvious in a way, but the way they do this, you remember I mentioned Lynn had a man friend who wanted a divorce? Okay, this dude is the side piece, and he wants a divorce, I guess, so he can sleep at night instead of like, hey, I'm fucking around with this married woman and I'm ruining lives. So that guy, he's kind of a good guy, I guess. I mean, still, it's complicated. And get this, people, John reveals to Amanda, who is dying, by the way, Jeff shot her ass, so she's like bleeding out at her neck or something like that, and he reveals this twist right here. All along, people, this was Amanda's test. He wasn't testing Lynn necessarily. I mean, he needed her help, clearly, but no, this is all coming back to Amanda, who's supposed to learn a lesson by the end of it. And, you can clearly see that, while she's fading out, John is just full of remorse and he's sad, and, he doesn't want to see her go out like this. He clearly doesn't. These two, their relationship is, I mean, it's one of a kind. Amanda dies, people, okay? She checks out. Unfortunately, we cut to Jeff in the same room as them. Do you remember all those lessons we learned earlier? I mentioned earlier he went through a metamorphosis. Nah, fuck that, people. Vengeance is back, baby. And you know what? It's time. Jeff kills John. Yes, people. John is fucking dead at the end of the 3rd movie. Which you might ask yourself, how the fuck is there already 7 released sequels and 1 more coming along the way? How? Don't you dare ask. That is what we're going to find out during this rewatch each and every month. So come on back.
Live or die, Jeff. Make our choice.
Jeff.
J.K. John Kramer, Jigsaw Killer, is dead, people. But get this, people. Jeff, since he killed John, did you forget about that shotgun shell collar around Lynn's neck? I sure as shit didn't. That goes off. So essentially, people, Jeff not only killed Jigsaw, he also killed his wife. And worse, what's gonna happen to their daughter? Did you forget about her? Because John sure as shit didn't. Before he checks out, he plays a tape revealing that he is the only one who knows where the daughter is. You might notice I put emphasis on the only one who knows where Jeff's daughter is. Okay, hey, remember that when we come back in a month or two. It's horrifying because Jeff is locked in that room and the little girl's in some closet somewhere disconnected in the same warehouse. I mean, it's a fucked up ending. And while we're at it, let me just be real. This feels like the end of the series. It is clearly where we reach a stopping point. We wouldn't have gotten so many bullshit sequels. And yes, there's a few that I like. Clearly, I bought the goddamn collection here. But let me say, at this point, before I've rewatched 4 through 10, I don't know if I'm going to be riding high like this ever again. This series is essentially split almost in half for me. I sure hope SAW3 is good. I gotta hope for a good movie at this point because a lot of these just don't hold up. But SAW3, in my opinion, before we get to the rating, SAW3, as of right now, it's my favorite in the goddamn series. Okay, yeah, I'm having a great fucking time with this one. Is it perfect? No, but I'm gonna recommend you check this one out. I mean, honestly, just watch the first 3. But yeah, people, this one is an absolute recommendation. Let's get to the ratings, okay? Since we're on the shit show, we're going to have 2 different ratings here. Exclusive to this series, we have lowbrow fuckery or high class fuckery. In this case, I'm going to give this a rating of high class fuckery. Okay, yeah, as if that was a surprise. That means this is a good, bad movie, so to speak. On our regular scale, I'm gonna go with a rating of New Religion. Yes, people, this is the highest rating we can give a movie. Yeah, Saw 3 did it for me, okay? Saw 1 was good, Saw 2 was great, Saw 3, masterpiece. Yeah, people, I'm gonna stand on business here and just let you know. Right now, this is the best Saw film to watch. So I think that's about it. I've been rambling for God knows how long now. I'm still pissed that I don't have Wi-Fi or a working car at the moment. So with that being said, I might have more free time to just shit out a bunch of reviews. Of course, I put love and care into these, so let me not say shit them out. But yeah, I might have a little more free time on my hands, so maybe I can be a little more productive while I figure out the car shit. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go back to being stressed out about that. This was a great escape for an hour. Okay, at this point, I am only 62 minutes in of recording. So by the time you're watching this in the video, I mean, it's probably gonna be what, in the 20s, 30 at most. So yeah, enjoy the chopped down edited version, which is completely edited by me. I know I love to talk shit about the editor, but I am the editor, so inside joke between me and you. I think that's it, people. It's time for me to get the fuck out of here. I just want to say thank you so much if you made it this far. It means the world to me that I get to do stupid shit like this, even if it's only 5 people watching. So, thank you so much. Please do all the algorithm things, and it'll help me out. As of this recording, I have 420 subscribers. Nice, by the way. Stay tuned for my 420 special this year. And that's, as of this recording, just under 2 months away. Okay, I think that is really it, okay? My name's Henry from Ahead of the Curve 94, and I'm signing out, y'all. Deuces! Hey, it's me again, the guy from the thing you just watched. Feel free to check out one of the 2 videos on your screen currently speaking. You can't go wrong with either or. Thank you so much. This time it's for real.